Hey, 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 what's up there, ladies and gents? It's your girl Sean here, live and in all the way from Boston, MA. Yes, folks, I'm in Boston, Mass. It is a cold and kind of rainy day here in Boston. And I just want to come to you live today in this travel group and just want to talk about a couple of things. So, if you guys have been hanging out with me on my personal page for any length of time, you guys know that I just don't like to travel, but I have a love affair for travel. Um, so I created this group. Well, I have this page, but I also have a group, and I think I'm really going to start to kind of phase the fan page out, and kind of do everything in the group. So I'm also going to put a link at the end of this video so you guys can come over and hang out in the actual group. Meet some other great people who love to travel, and we'll just kind of hang out there and have a conversation. Okay. But again, I created this group because of my love affair for travel, and I know that a lot of people out here who have the same love of travel as I do. So I thought I would talk a little bit about my favorite mode of transportation, and that is cruising. Now, let me apologize before I go any further, because you might see me look down or look over, and that's because I wrote down a couple of notes, and I want to make sure that I give you everything that I want to give you in this live video today. All right. So, um, let me see. Again, I don't want to make this video extra long, so because I like cruising, that's what I'm going to talk about probably this week. And I'm going to kind of break it down so it doesn't become overwhelming. So I don't want to make these videos extremely long. So again, if you guys don't know, because I have such a love affair for travel, I actually wrote a book, folks. Yes, I wrote The Ultimate Guide to Cruising on a Budget. What the cruise lines won't tell you that can save you thousands of bucks. And so what I'm going to do today in this video is we're going to talk about cruise terminology. And we're going to discuss a couple of different keywords. So as we continue the discussion tomorrow and the rest of the week, you have an idea of kind of what we're talking about. All right. So I'm going to flip through my little handy dandy book. And what I did, guys, when I wrote this book, because I know not everyone is familiar with cruising, most times when you get a book and they'll having words or whatever, usually what will happen is that they will normally put the glossary normally in the back of the book. So you kind of read through the book, you might have to flip through the back to kind of see what that word means if you're not familiar. But what I chose to do, see if I can show you here, when I first open it. And what you got here, folks, is your table of contents. Now, you may not be able to see that, but my first chapter here, actually, folks, over here, where is it? Let me find it. There we go. That my very first chapter, folks, is what I call cruiseology. And I chose to put it in the front of the book because I wanted you guys to have a sense of, again, what was being talked about before you even started to read the book. So I'm actually going to go through and just talk maybe about 3, 4, maybe 5 keywords that you guys might hear me talk about. So the first word is disembarkation. Now, all that simply means is when you leave your ship to go ashore. When you get into a port, you might hear the captain or some of the crew say, we're going to disembark. And that's all it simply means. We're going to leave the ship, go to the port, and hang out, okay? There's also embarkation, which means when we're leaving, let's say we're leaving our home state and we're going to Florida or Texas or wherever, and we're going to the ship, we're now going to go aboard the ship. So we're going to embark on the cruise ship. So that's 2 of the main words, embarkation and debarkation, are 2 words that you will hear a lot. Another key word that you'll hear is aft, A-F-T. And what does that simply mean? That is actually the back of the ship. So you sometimes when you're on the cruise, you hear all this terminology and you hear the captain or somebody come on to speak and they'll say, the comedy show is, on deck 10 aft. And you're like, well, what the hell is aft? What does that mean? I still don't know where it is. So now you know that it's at the back of the ship. All right. Let's see what else we got. So we got the back of the ship. Let's talk about the front of the ship. The front of the ship is simply 3 more letters. Bow. B-O-W. So you got aft, that's the back of the ship, and bow, which is the front of the ship. And don't worry, folks. I know it's all new. I know it all sounds crazy. It's a whole new lesson in vocabulary, but it's all right because again, you can get your copy here. Again, I'll put that link also at the bottom of this video as well. So we talked about embarkation, disembarkation. We talked about the bow, which is the front of the ship, the aft, which is the back. So let's see. Let's find one other. So key one here. Cruise director. You're going to hear that a lot when you're on the cruise, folks. And what is a cruise director? The cruise director is the head of the entertainment. He kind of oversees, or she oversees everything, folks. All of the different games that are held on the ship, all of the parties that are held on the Lido deck, the comedy shows, all those things is the cruise director is responsible, and his or her team is responsible for putting those things on for your week or 3 days, 4 days, however long you're on a cruise. So that's what today's video was about. Simply, excuse me, folks, just some terminology. Let's see what else we can come up with. Another key thing you hear is the muster or your muster station. So what does that simply mean? That's basically your go-to place. If something should happen, you'll be told to go to your muster station. We go through a whole drill. So it's no different than when, you're flying, you're on your flight, and the stewards go through, your airline stewards go through, the safety precautions. What to do in the event of an emergency. And when you're on a cruise ship, being assigned, everyone's assigned a muster station, and including your kids. Your kids are under a certain age, they'll get a little wristband that they wear, so that if they're in a different space than you, they get brought to that muster station as well. So the muster station is basically the same thing as a flight. It's your go-to place in the event of an emergency. All right. Now, again, I said I didn't want to make this video extra long. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with all the cruise terminology. Trust me, there's tons of it. I've just given you just some of the basics. So again, let's kind of go through that list. We've got embarkation, disembarkation, bow, aft. We talked about the cruise director, and we talked about the muster station. So actually, yeah, 6 key words. That's what I gave you today. Again, I'm doing this on my fan page. I'm really thinking about putting everything in the group. So I am going to drop the link in this video at the bottom of this video, so you guys can come over and hang out in the actual group. I also will drop the link to the book. I mean, I had tons of fun writing this, folks, because again, I love to cruise. I've plenty of people who taken more cruises than I have. I've managed to go on now 6. Got about, I don't know how many more planned for 2018. Who knows? But definitely you want to grab the book if you don't have it. I'll put a link in there at the bottom as well, so that you can come on over and go to Amazon. It is on Amazon. You can go over there and grab it if you like. It's reasonably priced. So get one for not only for yourself, but for your friends as well. All right, folks. Again, you know what? Before I go, I didn't say this. If this is your first time live and in with me, let me know where you're live and in from. I would love to know where you are in the world. If you've been here before or you've seen any live video of mine, just if this is your first time, drop a 1. If you've been here before or you've seen me do a live video, drop a 2. And that way I'll know I got some people who are familiar with me, who know what I'm about, and start the conversation, just chit chat. If you happen to catch this video on the replay, do me a favor, folks, and just put #replay. It just kind of helps me know where people are, who's watching, who's seeing it, and I really appreciate it. All right. So tomorrow we're going to talk about fun and sun. What do we do now that we're on this beautiful luxury resort for any length of time? So stay tuned tomorrow, folks. I'm not sure if we're going to do it at the same time. I'm going to try to do it at 5 o'clock. But I will make sure that I put a post out tomorrow to let you guys know exactly what time I'm going to be going live. All right. Again, I appreciate you for coming by. This is your girl, Sean, the entrepreneur hanging out here in my home office doing this live video from Boston, Mass. And until tomorrow, guys, peace.